There hasn't been a single extradition process from the United States to Mexico. That is the other way around, not one.
They arrested Cesar Duarte in the United States, and at Mexico's request, he was extradited.
Yes, because of the extradition treaty.
It's just that you were saying
that none had been extradited.
You said none had been extradited.
Arturo Avila, spokesperson for Morena, experienced an awkward moment on the show Me lo dijo Adela, when he made an incorrect statement about extraditions between Mexico and the United States. In this video, I'll tell you how Adela Micha debunked him live and the mockery it sparked. During a discussion panel on the show Me lo dijo Adela, there was an intense exchange between deputies Juan Zavala from Movimiento Ciudadano, the PAN member Damian Cepeda, and the Morena member Arturo Avila. In the discussion, they addressed the implications of the arrest and extradition request filed by the United States against 10 officials from the Sinaloa government, including Governor Ruben Rocha Moya. In that context, the most uncomfortable moment happened when the Morena legislator tried to question the supposed lack of reciprocity from Washington. Regarding justice, he stated that according to his own investigations, no person has been extradited from the United States to Mexico in more than 50 years. With this argument, Avila maintained that the extradition mechanisms of the U.S. government have been practically non-existent for half a century. He said that cooperation between both countries is not equitable, since, according to him, the United States makes demands but does not reciprocate in the same way. And she concluded by stating that due to this lack of responsibility and reciprocity, the request for arrest and extradition, it would be a form of interventionism, backed by conservative and not very nationalist positions.
There has not been a single extradition process from the United States to Mexico in the opposite direction among those Mexico has requested under a bilateral extradition treaty that is more than half a century old, not one.
Meanwhile, her statement was immediately and live refuted. Adela Micha stepped in to correct him and reminded him of one of the most well-known cases, that of the former governor of Chihuahua, Cesar Duarte, who was extradited from the United States at Mexico's request on June 2, 2022. It should be noted that Duarte was handed over to the Mexican authorities to face charges of criminal conspiracy and aggravated embezzlement. It was not a minor case, but rather a complex legal process that began in 2019 and led to his arrest in Miami in 2020. In addition, the procedure was coordinated by the Attorney General's office together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which shows that there are indeed active cooperation mechanisms between both countries. Thus, after the correction, Arturo Avila ended up admitting that Duarte was handed over to Mexico through the current extradition treaty. And this admission caused laughter on the panel, as it directly contradicted his initial statement.
We have a correction. Cesar Duarte was arrested in the United States, and at Mexico's request, he was extradited.
Yes, under the extradition treaty, Title I.
It's just that you said there hadn't been a single one, but you said there hadn't been a single one.
On the other hand, the PAN member Damian Cepeda argued that Avila's statements reflect a defense of the indefensible. He emphasized that the case of Ruben Rocha Moya could be historic, since, as he explained, never before had the United States government formally accused a sitting Mexican governor of alleged ties to crime. In that context, Cepeda also said he was in favor of presenting the evidence supporting the accusations against Rocha Moya and the other officials. However, she stated that, in this case, the government has two options: to stand on the side of justice or on the side of political protection.
This is what defending the indefensible looks like. It's a historic issue, no matter how much they want to spin it. Never in the history of this country has there been an accusation against a sitting office holder. The government had to decide whether it would side with justice or with protection. I think that as of today, they have chosen the side of protection.
Finally, it's important to point out that this isn't the first time that the Morena legislator has been called out on air for presenting alternative facts. In a recent show, Avila claimed to be the representative with the highest number of passed bills within his caucus. However, that statement was refuted by his fellow panelists, who checked public records and confirmed that he actually didn't have any passed bills. If you don't want to miss how the PAN leader exposed the Morena spokesperson, I invite you. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and enable notifications.